Welcome to the Geek Divers tutorials. In this episode, we'll set up the calendar. To do that, we need to go to Activity and Activity Calendar. As soon as you view your activity calendar, you will see that today is highlighted in light green. We can hide the left menu by clicking on the three lines on top here. When you view the calendar, you will see the current week if you choose to click on week, or you can view the month, or you can choose the day view. The scheduler view will show you what happens today according to the courses and your boat. Let's go back to the week view. As you can see, today we already have some planned activities, courses, and some trips and classroom and pool sessions. Let's start creating a course. Tomorrow we will have a DSD with Peter Pan. I can click on the calendar tomorrow at 8 a.m. and I choose course. Geek Divers will show you all the courses that you currently have in your price list. You can start typing the name of your course in the search string. As you can see, you find your price list item and you can click on it. In this page, you will see the exact start date and time that you selected in the calendar. You can then set an end date and time as you wish. In this case, I will say that my DSD with 2 dives will be completed at around 2 p.m. I can now click on Next Step. Here I will see all my current customers. I just need to select the customers that will join the DSD course tomorrow. If you don't see them in this view, you can start typing in the search string. I select Peter Pan by clicking on his name, and as you can see, the top line is now green. I now click on Select Staff, and I will see my current diving staff members. I can now select a staff member by clicking on the name. I can now scroll up and save. Now the course is saved with 1 customer and 1 staff member. You can always update this course as long as the course is open. I can now go back to the Activity and Activity Calendar menu, and I will see my Discover Scuba Diving course with Tatiana as staff member and Peter as student. Let's now create a trip. I click on the calendar at the time my boat or van or car leaves, and I click on Trip. On this page, in the Transportation tab, you will see the complete list of your transport. Boats, vans, you can also set up your pool and your classrooms if you wish. By default, Geek Divers will give you a no transport in case you wish to do a shore dive. For every transport on this page, you should see a number in a blue bubble. This number represents the total number of people that you can have on your boat or van, or in case of no transport, 999. Select a transport by clicking on it. As we did for the course, you now see the start date and time. In case this is not correct, you can still change it here. You can now select the end date and time. At this point, you can select your dive sites. In this menu, you will see the complete list of dive sites that you've set up for this account and for this location. Select the dive sites in the order that you wish to visit them. If you're not sure of the dive sites that you're going to tomorrow, select some of them. You can still change them in case your plan changes. You're now ready to click on tab Groups. On this page, you can set up what kind of activities your customers do on your boat tomorrow. You will see the total capacity of your boat, and because now your boat is still empty, you will see the same availability. If you scroll down, you will see the list of courses and trips that you set up in your price list. If you don't find the trip that you wish to use, you can just start typing it here in the search item. Select the trip that you wish to use, and you will be directed to the customer selection page. Here I see my current customers. If you wish to plan customers that are not yet checked in, you can click here and search in all customers. Start selecting your customers. As soon as you click on their names, you will see them on the right-hand side of this page. As you can see, the 2 dive sites are already selected, and if they wish to dive with a nitrox tank, you can click on the checkbox Ian. Select more customers as needed, and you will see them on the right-hand side of the screen. In case you need to add extra costs to one specific customer, you can click on your Add Item button, and a pop-up will show you your price list. For example, this customer chooses to rent a computer for the day. I just need to select, and you will see it in the customer's card. I can now click on tab Staff to assign a staff member to this customer. The staff member will go on the right-hand side of the screen and it will be selected. Remember to click on Add Update to confirm the group selection. As you can see above here, the capacity of your boat stays the same, but the availability is reduced by the number of people already on the boat. I would like now to add the DSD course to my trip. I can start searching here, and I will find the Discover Scuba Diving course. I select it, and Geek Divers will ask me if I wish to create a new course. Actually, I've already created a new course in my calendar, so I can select it from the existing courses. As a confirmation, you will see the customer's name in the course. I can now click on OK, and the Discover Scuba Diving 2 Dives course is added to the boat, updating the availability. You can add as many groups as you like to your boat, providing that you have enough available spaces. In case you reach the maximum capacity of the boat, you will see a warning message. The warning message does not prevent you from adding more people to the boat, but it's just a reminder that you've reached the maximum capacity of your transport. For every trip, you will have a list of reports and summary in the last tab. Geek Divers will offer you an activity summary. Here you can choose the boat master or trip leader for the day among your staff members. You will see the date, the dive sites, the name of your transport, the total number of customers at the moment on the boat, and the number of staff members. You can set up your emergency contacts in your general settings, and they will appear in every trip that you set up in your calendar. Geek Divers will also give you a dive roster. The dive roster will show you each customer and staff member repeated for a number of time equal to the number of dive sites that you selected in your trip. You can type a time in and a time out for your dive, and Geek Divers will calculate the dive time automatically. You can also type a depth, and in case the customer chooses to dive with a nitrox tank, you can type the percentage of oxygen. Every time you see a print button, Geek Divers will generate a PDF. You can save it and open it in your browser. The PDF will show you the activity summary, your logo, the dive roster with the signature in case you need the customers to sign for their measurement of the nitrox tanks, and a post-trip checklist. This is just a reminder for your staff members to do a roll call, a boat debriefing, monitor the number of empty air tanks and empty nitrox tanks. Did everybody pay? Is all the rental equipment coming back? Did I check the safety equipment? Am I bringing back the spare bag? Let's go back to Geek Divers and continue with the lists. The custom trip list is a list that you can customize however you like. In Geek Divers, there are more than 40 columns that you can choose to make your own list. You can customize the order of the column, and you can even create your own columns. This is just an example of a custom trip list that you can create. In both the custom trip list and in the trip list, you will only see your customers. The trip list is more of a standard trip list where you can see the list of your customers, their passport information and nationality. You can assign an agent to them, and you can show if they need to be picked up and dropped off. The trip list is customizable as well, meaning that you can hide or show specific columns as you need. Every list, as we did for the roster, can be printed, meaning that Geek Divers will generate a PDF. In the equipment list summary, you will see the total number of air tanks and nitrox tanks that you need for your trip, including 2 spare tanks. You can change the number of spare tanks to modify the total number of tanks that you need. You can also set your spare bag ID, choose your first aid kit, the oxygen tank, and your AED device. In the equipment list, you will find the complete list of equipment that you need for your trip. If you've assigned a size to the customer's profile in tab Equipment, you will see the sizes that you need in this table. Additionally, if a customer brings his own equipment, you will see an Own in this table. If the customer chooses to bring their own equipment and leave it in the shop, you will see Own and a star. You can assign the equipment in this list. Click on Assign Equipment button and select the equipment from the drop-down menu. Click on button Assign to save it to the equipment list. Don't forget to click on Save to make sure that the trip is saved and shown in your calendar. We can now go back to the activity calendar. You can now see that we not only have a Discover Scuba Diving course in our calendar, but we also have a trip, and Tatiana and Peter are on this trip. If you wish to modify a course, you need to click on the course and choose Edit. You're now back to the initial page of the course creation. You can change the time or the date of both. You can change the customers and the staff members. Click on Next Step if you wish to change people in this course. To add a customer to this course, you just need to click on the name of the customer. The red line at the top will turn green and the customer will be added to the course. Click on Select Staff if you wish to add or change the staff member. If you wish to add a staff member, you just click on the name and the red line at the top will turn green. If you have set a number of sections for this course, you will see the sections at the bottom of the staff members cards. The sections will be used to calculate commissions for the staff members. The commissions for the staff members, if in percentage, will be calculated on the total course price. If two staff members are working on the same course, you will then need to choose how many sections is one staff member doing and how many sections the other staff member is doing. For example, Tatiana is doing 50 sections and Tyrion is doing the remaining 50. This is because in my price list for the Discover Scuba Diving course, I set up 100 sections. This is an example of how you can set up sections. Consider 100 as 100% of the course. If each staff member is doing half of the course, then you can easily assign 50 sections each. Don't forget to click on button Update to make sure that the course is correctly saved. Now let's go back to the activity calendar. Let's see how you can modify a trip. Click on the icon or picture and choose Edit. You are now redirected to the transportation page. If you wish to change the boat or van that you've set up, you can do so by clicking on another transport. If you need to change date and time, you can do so. And if you need to modify the dive site, you can just change the dive site in the menu of dive site 1 or dive site 2. Click on Groups to view the list of groups that you've set up for this trip. On this page, you can add a group, remove an existing group, or modify a group that you've already set up. For example, let's modify the 2-tank dive boat. Click on the name, and the system will show you the list of current customers. At the moment, we have 2 customers in this group, and we can add more. In the list of current customers, you will see that customers that are already on the boat, but not in this group, are already marked with the type of activity that they do on the boat. Click on Additional Customers if you wish to add them to this group. Click now on Staff to make sure that you have the correct staff member, or if you wish to remove them, you can click on Remove and select a different staff member. As for the customers, the staff members that are already on the boat have a blue writing next to their name. Click on the staff member that you wish to assign and on button Add Update. As you can see above here, we now have 3 customers in this group and a different staff member. Please remember that you cannot change the people in a course on a boat. If you click on the Discover Scuba Diving here, you will see the list of customers and the list of staff members. As you probably remember, we've added a new customer in the Discover Scuba Diving course. If you wish to update the list of people in this group, the best option would be to remove the group and add it again. So click on Remove button and confirm it, and select the same course again. Select from existing course, and you will now see 2 students. Click on OK, and the Discover Scuba Diving course has been updated on the boat. Don't forget to click on button Save. Now let's go back to the activity calendar to view the changes. Now, as you can see, the trip has changed color. This is because I changed the boat. On top of that, not only I have Tatiana doing the DSD course, but I also have Tyrion. Every time you create an activity in the calendar, the customer's bills are automatically updated with the kind of activity that they do. Their bills will contain the correct date and time of every activity and the correct charges according to your price list. It is important that you close activities once they are completed. For example, let's go back to yesterday. On this page, you can see that most of the activities are already closed. You can see a closed activity because the color is faded. However, I still have 4 open activities for the day of yesterday. It is recommended to check the content of the activities before closing them. Once an activity is closed, you cannot reopen it again. Click on the icon or picture and click on Edit. Double check that all the information written in this page and in the next page groups are correct. If you think that everything is correct, you can scroll down and click on Close Trip. Confirm it by clicking on Yes. The trip is now closed. You can always view the content of this trip, but you will not be allowed to make any changes anymore. Let's go back to the activity and activity calendar to see that this trip is now faded. It's important that you close all the activities every day. If an activity is still open, you will not be allowed to close the customer's bill. Additionally, every time you close an activity, if you pay your staff members by commissions, their commissions will be calculated automatically and written in their payslip. Open activities means no commissions for your staff members. Thank you for watching.